Towards Bergen, catching a ferry. I don't even know the name of this island. We'll probably get on so once we dock, we'll drive off and head off into a tunnel, which leads to the mainland where Bergen is. And we'll probably go through a series of other tunnels along the way. Either way, pretty nice. Wet day, foggy, and otherwise it's beautiful. It reminds me of California. So let me grab my wife. We'll head back to the car or to the camper. Hey, do you want to go to get in the camper so we're ready to go?
We can. We've got about a mile.
All right, just to show how much stuff cost here. So that's about $5.57. That's just for an ice cream cone that we'll probably pay maybe $2 for back at home. So just to give you how expensive it is here in Norway. All right, yeah, we're close to docking. All right, second ferry for the day.
It almost makes it appear mysterious, just the fog and the overcast everywhere. It's really cool.
So you can sit back and enjoy the ride here. They have a galley for you to purchase food. You can sit at a table, kind of relax, a little place for the kids to play. Check this out. Oh, nice. One of the things I've noticed about Norway is they're really focused on raising their children. Like, the focus is the children. Everywhere we went, there's playgrounds. Everywhere we went, it's, for the most part, kid-friendly.
Is that kennel for the kids? I'm just kidding.
And they do have kennels for pets. All right, we're at the back of the ship to get a different perspective. Look at that. All right, so back here, I'm trying to finagle my camera. All right. That's looking back at where we just came from. Like I said before, Norway really puts an emphasis on the children and the family. And I think that's one of the aspects that makes this a very special place. Everywhere you go, there's always some place for the kids to play and for the parents to enjoy time with their family. On the hike we did yesterday, there's a lot of toddlers on that hike, and it wasn't an easy hike. I'm not going to sit there and kid you on that. Here's a view of the coastline of one of the islands in the area. You got those little houses off in the distance. Right to our front here is a fishery, some type of fish farm. I wonder if this is where they have their salmon, where they cultivate their salmon. No anchoring. What I enjoy most about these trips is the look on my wife's face. She's always happy. These trips make her happy. If she's happy, I'm happy. That's all that matters. Finally made it to Bergen. It's pretty nice. It's busy. It's a port city. Off to the left here, turn around the corners where all the cruise ships come in. And I suspect most people here are tourists like us, probably coming from somewhere else. So Andrew and I were talking, if we were to do this with friends, we would definitely tour Norway via cruise ship, because we're not responsible for their fun at that point. Anyway, but yeah, this is the city. Welcome to the World Heritage Site of Bergen. So it looks like we have it in German, English, French, and Norwegian. If that's Norwegian. Could be Dutch. Who knows? You can see here the houses or the buildings are the standard color that you see across Norway, which is this burnt orange, this red here. Most houses are going to be white that I've seen so far. and it's pretty cool. I haven't seen it vary off these colors too much. There were a few houses that were yellow or had some other highlights to it.
Oh, sorry, I gotta go in here. It's a silver gallery.
All right, we're going to go inside the silver gallery. Here. If we didn't live in Florida, I would tell Andrea to go pick herself out a jacket, a fur coat. There was a place in Park City that we visited that had a fur G-string for men. All right, hey babe. The Hanseatic merchants are long gone and no longer part of the hustle and bustle of Bryggen, but you can still experience this unique place, which has contributed to much of making Bergen the city it is today. Hanseatic merchants from northern Germany sailed into Bergen in the 13th century to exchange grain for stockfish from northern Norway. Their trading activities made Bryggen and Bergen one of Northern Europe's most important trading hubs for centuries. Today, the Hanseatic Museum and School belong to the World Heritage Site, Bryggen, inscribed on UNESCO's World Heritage List in 1979. The museum illustrates how Hanseatic merchants lived, worked, and made their mark on Bergen over a course of 400 years. If you wander through Bryggen and explore the beautiful school today, you will get a sense of what Bergen was like during the Hanseatic era. Walking through the narrow alleyways is like traveling back in time. If you listen carefully, maybe you will hear young men speaking Low German, rolling barrels, and creaking cartwheels carrying stockfish. The historical surroundings provide an insight into the everyday life of the merchants, their impressive trading network, and the history of the buildings themselves. You will also find Bergen's perhaps best kept secret under a glass floor, a medieval ruin dating back around 1280, which was discovered when the museum was founded 148 years ago. The school assembly rooms are situated right beside the Hanseatic merchants' main church, St. Mary's Church, and are set in a charming garden. The museum has a universal design. Mm-hmm.
So you come in and you see your name on a chalkboard, which that's just humiliating, right? And then because pointing is considered rude, that's why they have that stick thing on the wall with the pointer finger, was they could go over and point, and then they would take this, it was called something ball, which is, they would whip them with it, but it was a dried bull's penis, so it was embarrassing. And that was their punishment.
Okay. So this is a old German business or trade school where people will come and learn a trade. And there's a staff in there that is made of, that had a pointing finger. And pointing, like my wife described, was very considered rude. And so they would have this stick.
Yes, this was also, so they're apprentices, so it's a school, so there's kids. And so one of the things I was reading is if you misbehave, your name was written on a blackboard. And now it's considered disrespectful to point at you.
Right.
So they had a stick with a pointy finger at the end of it that they would point to your name that was on the board, and later you would get lashes with this bull's something.
Bull's penis.
Bull's something, which translates to
Penis.
the stretched out, dried bull's penis. So it was embarrassing. It didn't hurt, it was just embarrassing.
Ah.
So here they learned to read, write, mathematics, keep accounts, and after 6 years apprenticeship, they underwent an exam proving they had knowledge of trade.
Nice. So like any port area, there's a lot of tourist things geared towards tourists, shops geared towards tourists, selling, you know, mostly Norwegian type things. So you can only imagine what the markup is. You're going to pay tourist prices. What was really cool is going down these little back alleys. Like you see here, where you can see at one point how some of the buildings were interconnected with one another. Like the little bridge there that goes from one building to another. All right, so if you ever come here to Bergen, this is a must. They have reindeer sausage, which is awesome. And then they have what they call San Francisco, which is, it has, so the reindeer sausage has the juniper berry jam and mustard. Oh, that was good. And then the San Francisco sausage has garlic and chili. Very good combination. Awesome flavors. My wife is chowing down on hers right now. I just gobbled mine, and it was worth every bite. So.
Want to go get a soda or something now?
Sure. Håkon Håkonsson IV, sometimes called Håkon the Old in contrast to, his namesake son, was King of Norway from 1217 to 1263. His reign lasted for 46 years, longer than any Norwegian king since Harald Fairhair. Håkon was born into the troubled civil war in Norway, but his reign eventually managed to put an end to the eternal conflicts. At the start of his reign, during his minority, Earl Skol Bardsson served as regent. As the king of the Bergen faction, Håkon defeated the uprising of the final Bagler royal pretender, Sigrid Ribbung, in 1227. He put a definitive end to the Civil War era when he had Skol Bardsson killed in 1240, a year after he had himself proclaimed king in opposition to Håkon. Håkon therefore formally appointed his own son as his co-regent. Under Håkon's rule, medieval Norway is considered to have reached its zenith or golden age. His reputation and formidable navy fleet allowed him to maintain friendships with both the Pope and the Holy Emperor despite their conflict. He was at different points offered the imperial crown by the Pope, the High Kingship of Ireland by a delegation of Irish kings, and the command of the French Crusader fleet by the French king. He amplified his influence in European culture in Norway by importing and translating contemporary European literature into Old Norse, and by constructing monumental European-style stone buildings. In conjunction with this, he employed an active and aggressive foreign policy, and at the end of his rule added Iceland and the Norse Greenland community into his kingdom, leaving the Norwegian realm at his territorial height, although he, for the moment, managed to secure Norwegian control of the islands off the northern and western shores of Scotland, plus the Isle of Man. He fell ill and died when wintering in Orkney following some military engagements with the expanding Kingdom of Scotland. This is make more sense about them throwing down stones and pitch.
Yeah. This is the thing. Back then, they engineered stuff. You know this was heavy.
Yeah.
You know this took work to get this all put together correctly. So, the question is, are we getting smarter with time or dumber?
And they did more with less, right?
Some stuff we're just starting to lose our skills and knowledge and other things.
Yeah. Or we're just getting better and more efficient. Just think of all the man hours it took just to build this. Let's keep the people of North Carolina in our thoughts and prayers, and as well as those in Florida. Unfortunately, I had to leave for a business trip, and I'm gonna miss out on this hurricane. But all will be well at the end of the day, and we'll rebuild and do what we have to do. Hey, thanks for watching. We really, again, I can't say how much or express how much I really enjoyed being in Norway and seeing the sights, especially there at the Bergen House Fortress and the Rosenkratz Castle there. Our tower, excuse me. And I mean, I tell you what, that was such a fascinating place. There's a lot I wanted to talk about. I had to, but for the sake of longevity and me being long-winded and not really articulate over the camera, it is what it is. But I like to continue to share more content. Please like and subscribe,
And I have more about Norway that we had an opportunity to experience that we would love to share with you, and I'm going to continue to share. But again, please keep the people in Florida and North Carolina in your thoughts and prayers, and hopefully they will recover soon. Thanks. Bye-bye.